Welcome to the Dashless Report. I'm your host, Bobby Morabia, and to my left, NRJ, and somebody's missing today. It's also known as the Dashless Report.
Right. Not back by viewer demand, I guess. Viewers demanded he get off the couch, and sure enough, on this World Series edition, he is not here.
Yeah, well, he was covering the World Cup. He got stuck in Frankfurt, but he's on his way back. He got detained. We have a special guest filling in for him.
Very nice.
He got caught in traffic, so we'll be seeing him in a few minutes. Norman, games 2 and 3 this week. You look like a genius.
Yes, I did pick Grip It and Rip It to win both Game 2 and Game 3. And like I said before, and I'm going to stand to it, I have the Dodgers winning the World Series at the end of the day.
Now, that was my big question.
Yeah.
You're still standing by your prediction based on what you saw, that they can rebound and win 2 games?
I was very impressed by Grip It and Rip It, especially their defense. Dodgers had a very, very rough day defensively. Carlos had a very rough day at shortstop. I predict that Carlos rebounds. He's a strong guy. He's got a lot of strong will. I think he's going to have a very good game at shortstop. That's going to be the difference in games 4 and 5.
So you're not changing. I'm still. I've been on the Grip It bandwagon. I still think they're going to take it. Actually, probably in game 4. I don't see the big question mark the whole year with the Dodgers has been the defense, and sure enough, it really came back to haunt them on Sunday. You still have Yedid on the mound. You still have Jackie Tal. Even though now they have a new defense on him. Now they're going 4 outfielders every time, which sort of threw Jackie for a loop.
Well, they should definitely go 4 outfielders every time he's up. We know Serial Killers made that huge mistake going 3 outfielders in a game-winning situation a couple of weeks ago. And Grip It and Rip It is very smartly managed. They had a very strong draft. They made good trades. They have the people in the right positions. Talk about positioning. Just a random play that happened. It was a big point in the ball game. Somebody on the Dodgers hit a base hit to right, and Michael S. Rishti was playing short right. I don't know who put him there or why he was there to make a big out. And then two batters later, he was playing short left.
And he made a play, right? In short left.
Unbelievable. This team's got good scouting, good advanced scouting. They really have their heads together on Grip It and Rip It.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why. And I think A.B. Sack, as I mentioned, right now is the best pitcher in the league. Defensively, any ball that comes up the middle, he's been getting, and he made 2 plays on Jackie Tal to flag it down. But I think they're going to win game 4 and wrap up the series.
And the thing with A.B. Sack is also, of all the pitchers, he's clearly got the best bat.
Yeah.
And now it seems he's got the best arm also. This guy's 100% a first-round pick next year.
Yeah.
If he's not a captain or whatever it is, it's got to be 100%. He is. It's totally a team effort for Grip It, but he is carrying this team. He really is. This guy is so important to that team. And without A.B. Sack on Grip It and Rip It, I don't think they are where they are today, obviously.
Here's our very special guest host, Michael Sabon Salomon. How are you?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Viewership and ratings just spiked way up with that announcement that Sabon is in studio.
That's it. How you doing,
Welcome.
guys?
Right, good. Michael, we're just recapping games 2 and 3. You were in attendance in Celebrity Row there. Tell us what you saw. Norman actually predicted that Grip It was going to sweep last Sunday, but he's also thinks they're going to lose the series. What do you think so far?
Unbelievable games. Can't believe who would have ever expected that Grip It would be in this spot right now. I mean, I was here in the middle of the season, and I think we were bashing them as much as my former team, referred to them as the gefilte fish kids, something I remember.
His former team.
People I no longer associate myself with. And, no, you know what? You got to give it to them. But I just don't see Yedid falling apart like this. He's the only guy I see coming back too, and I think they have a great shot. Although watching the game, they tore him up. Forget the errors. Errors happen. What are you gonna do? Every guy was hitting line drives all over the place, and he just didn't he couldn't get an out, and they just gelled at the right time.
I think for the first time in a long time, Yedid lost his cool and lost control of the game.
Yeah.
From all the fights with the umpires, there were a bunch of very bad calls on the field, and Yedid was pretty close to getting ejected, is what it looked like from my view.
Well, listen, we should talk. It was a blistering hot day, and it was the second game. The umpire blew a couple of calls, no question about it. And Yedid, overreacted, and he challenged umpire, whatever the umpire challenged him back. He probably lost his cool a little bit and probably lost focus from that also. But, if it's going to carry over into this week, the problem, I think, is that the window between Ike Yedid and A.B. Saka is maybe not even it's very slim right now. And I think really the only advantage the Dodgers have is Jackie Towell in center field out of all the positions, I think.
You know what? You're probably right fielding-wise, but Jackie as the captain has been not hitting at all. I mean, I played with him twice in the last week in the night league. He filled in for a guy. I think in the 2 games we played, he's probably 3 for 18.
Wow.
And maybe 3 cheap singles at best. He didn't hit last week against Yedid. And you got to hit to win. I mean, you got to make the plays. They're going to both have good D. They both have good pitching. But Yedid's team is not hitting. The other guys are hitting.
Well, that's very interesting because all year we're talking about elevating Jackie Towell to become one of the best players in the league. And if you want to be in that category, you got to come through when it counts. You know, the last person you want to face is Morabia in the batter's box in the World Series. So Jackie's got to get the big hits when it counts now. Also, games 4 and 5, perfect opportunity for that.
Yeah, we touched on it before that now decided to go 4 outfielders on Jackie whenever he's up, and it seemed to throw him off guard a little bit. He's been trying to go up the middle, trying to ground us, and he grounded out a couple times to A.B. Saka, but he did line out. He had a couple of hard hit balls that I guess if they didn't go 4 outfielders would have fallen in. But
the last out of game 1 was ripped, and A.B. Saka caught it and said he didn't even see the ball.
Yeah.
Boom! It was right in his glove right away to end that game. But either way, no excuses. He's got to come through with some hits now in 4 and 5.
Yeah, so I'm still sticking with Grip It. What do you think coming into this final 2 games of the season?
Well, I mean, you got to give the advantage right now a little to Grip It just because they're up. But you know what? That last game is not easy to close out. And you're going up against probably the biggest veteran in the league's history of big game pitching. And you know what? All they have to do is win that game 5 or 4. And if they do, then I think they're going to take both games.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go with Yedid.
Oh, wow. So you think they're going to come back?
Me too. I have trouble picking against Yedid in the World Series. If you want to get him out of the league, you got to get him in the first round of the playoffs, catch him while he's napping. I think he's going to show up very quiet, very focused, very ready to perform on Sunday morning.
You know, Norm, I have to disagree with you. If Ike Yedid is quiet and there's no fire, he could tend to almost not give up, but get too laid back. I saw it when last year we beat him in the playoffs. I think it was maybe the same situation, and we came back one game, we won like 17-1, and by the middle of the game, he was laying down and gave the ball up and said, I'll come back in game 5. Like he was literally knocked out from the heat and whatever. It wasn't him. He's got to come in full intensity and really go wild and rile up that team. Sometimes you got to go nuts on your teammates. Not in a bad way, but you got to say, this is the last game of the year. You want the championship or not, and he's the only guy that's going to do it.
But he's got to have the fielders behind him. He cannot give up ground balls and not get any outs.
Yeah, again, this is not the Ike Yedid of 5 years ago where it'd be a lot of lazy fly balls, a lot of cheap grounders. Now they're going to be hit hard, and the fielder's going to have to make the play. So that's why I'm not really sold on Yedid, because I don't know if their defense is that strong to begin with. And listen, Carlos, he's a very intimidating guy to play with, Jadid, also. When you make an error, it's not easy to sit there and listen to the comments, and so it's a very uncomfortable situation for the fielders.
That kind of reminds me of a ex-captain that I knew in the league.
That's why that ex-captain's sitting next to us today.
Well, here we are, folks.
So anyway, so I guess you two. I'm the only one going with Grippin. You still, you guys are both on Jadid, and as much as we'd love to see, Jackie Tal and those young guys, I think it's also another thing. I mean, you're talking about Jadid as a veteran with a bunch of 22-year-old kids. I mean, it's they don't really have the experience like he does, and so it should be an interesting Sunday. And if you weren't there, you might have been one of the few people in the community that weren't there. There was standing room only crowd at Fireman's Field.
Packed house.
As you saw, you parked maybe 4 blocks away.
Yeah.
You had to get the
I had to park
escort
in the 7-Eleven actually and get the police escort.
Yeah, and so we also had that, and it was just the music was blasting. It was a very festive day, and on and off the field, as tempers were flaring in the field, in the parking lot, and Norman, you can touch upon that a little bit.
Well, it started early with Jadid and Manzo. Manzo,
right.
our beloved umpire, gets the assignment for all the best games.
Excellent.
And basically, there was a call early on. I didn't see the actual play at the time, but Jadid and Manzo went at it, and Jadid actually threatened to punch him out or something like that, something along those lines. And it looked like Manzo was going to toss him out of the game, but didn't. Then there was a play at third base later on in the game where A.B. DeWeck from Grippet was the runner. He slid right into a tag by Big Sawley, clearly out from any angle.
Yeah.
I don't know how Manzo called him safe. I have no clue how he made that call that he was safe. Long story short, by the way, Manzo did go to the home plate umpire to get overruled. Jason overruled him and called the runner out.
Right.
But either way, Big Sawley went nuts. Ike Jadid went nuts, cursing, this and that. And then actually, after the game, tempers continued to flare, where Manzo took his shirt off and threatened to enter into some fisticuffs with some players.
As things would have it, the chances of Manzo parking right next to Jadid did not help the situation. Jadid was already at his car the second the game ended, and Manzo was there, and they said, "Why don't we meet somewhere to take care of business?" And
well, all of this, talk is leading me to believe other things. Manzo and Jadid parking next to each other, Manzo taking his shirt off, and then Manzo and Jadid discussing meeting elsewhere.
Right.
Was Sammy Sutton involved in any of this? Because there's a gay bar that accepts all kinds of people, and if you guys are coming out clean now, you might as well just call in. We're going to be live soon, I would assume.
Yes.
Any kind of all-male activity, we welcome you guys to. And please, call
By the
in.
way, I was at a scouting assignment at Citi Field the other night, and I look up on the big screen in between innings, and who's dancing on the big screen? None other than Sammy Sutton.
Get out of here.
No jokes. I look up, and obviously you can't confuse him for anybody else in the world, and he's on the big screen.
So apparently the Mets have a live feed at the Blue Oyster in Miami. Sam, if you're out there, please call in. We'd love to hear your comments.
Once again, the number is 732-5-YMSL-55 or 732-596-7555. But all joking aside, that was it could have really gotten ugly, and Eddie Hakeem's father got involved, and so thank God.
And my sources are telling me that Commissioner Bobby Morabia also got a little heated. Do you care to touch on that?
Well, listen, I was just trying to. I let him have his piece during the game, but when it continued into the parking lot, and he was threatening to meet somewhere, taking his shirt off, I thought that was very inappropriate. So
now, do you think that Jadid should have been thrown out of the game?
100%. 100%. And that was part of the problem. People know they can push Manzo to a certain limit. They don't have that with Terry. They don't have that with Jason. They don't have that with Kevin or any of these guys. You know, they know how they can push him, and he's not going to throw you out. So it creates a problem.
Well,
I've seen
certain
it over the
people.
years.
David Louis got thrown out for cursing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is he a real factor in the World Series? I mean, you got to give Manzo a lot of credit
Yes,
for
you
holding
do.
back, because you know what?
He
If
would've
you
changed
throw
the
your deed out,
yeah.
it's an automatic
Right.
loss. And come on, he knew deep down inside. He's been around doing this long enough to know that people get nuts and curse and frustrated, and he didn't let it get the best of him where he made a decision that
definitely.
Okay, fine, but then if he's not going to throw him out because he doesn't want to determine the series based on a call or whatever, if he's not going to throw him out, he can't say after, you should have been thrown out, I should have thrown you out, I cut you a break.
Okay, so now
live with it.
You're right. So now what he should do is give fair warning before the
100%.
game and say he's serious. There is no more warnings. If anyone curses me or gets in my face or whatever, you're out. I don't care if the World Series outcome is changed.
Right.
Well, last week there was a bad call at first base that A.B. Saka thought when Jason made, and he got into Jason's face, and you blew the series, you cost us the game. Jason went up to him. He says, "I'm tired. You're not going to talk to me like that. Get back on the mound. I don't want to hear another word out of you. Or you're out of here. You haven't heard A.B. Saka's voice since then." He handled it perfectly. You got to put him in his place and let him know it's not going to be. It's not. You can't do stuff like that. And so he could have definitely thrown him out on that. Also, I mean, that was another thing. So listen, the stars have to be in the game. We know that, but you can't take it to that level. So. But hopefully cooler heads will prevail. But Manzo told me he's resigning from the YMSL.
Oh, breaking news!
Yes, he's told me. I think it's the best interest of both parties.
Just for the World Series or going forward?
Yeah, he's going to do some exhibition games next year. So hopefully he'll make the right call then. And
it's the first good call he's made.
Yeah.
Well, Manzo, I'm putting together a team of invalids this summer. Most of them from my old team. Watch out. So if you'd like to come with your shirt off, you're more than welcome to. You could even play with us, so you'd probably be the best one on the team. Come down.
So, Michael, now let's get back to your situation. A rough year, 2011. Great team on paper. You made a lot of us look bad with our predictions. But going forward in 2012, how do you foresee yourself, as being a captain? And, do you think...
I'm going to give...
Was it for you, or do you think it's you'd rather be just a player?
You know what? I had a very good time being a captain. I thought I picked a great team. It didn't work out. I'm going to think about it over the year. If the option is there for me to come back as a captain, I'll make a decision somewhere, this winter. I would like to give it another shot. I don't think necessarily that we lost because I was a captain. My top picks just weren't, not everyone on the team, we did not play as top picks.
Right.
And I got stuck with a guy who is not a great pitcher. And in this league, look at the World Series. You got two great pitchers, and that's what it comes down to. So knowing what I know now, I tried stacking the team with hitting and fielding, and I thought that could overpower the pitching scenario this year. I'd probably do it different. I'd probably, if I had the chance, I'd try to grab one of those pitchers. If you look back at the draft, the only guy I could have had was Azer, but I took into consideration he was going to be away for weeks, and I said, you know what, I might as well get someone that could hit 500 and have a great outfield and whatever. So I made that choice, and I don't regret it.
Right.
It didn't pan out. What could you do?
What is the hardest part about being a captain?
For me, probably toning down and not cursing their grandmothers out night and
But
day.
you did that when you weren't a captain, so
That's why. That's why I did it when I wasn't a captain.
But you were pretty toned down.
Yeah,
when you yourself were struggling this year, you were toned down. You weren't pointing the fingers.
I said when I was a captain, I said, I'm making the picks, put all the blame on me. I did not ever point fingers this year. I will say the pitching was weak all year, but we look back at the scores. We lost, 4-10? We probably lost 5 games by 1 run.
Let me ask you this question. Next year, assuming everybody that's in the draft is in the draft or whatever, same league, now you have Mikey Shalom. emerging as a pitcher. Who is not going to be a starting pitcher? Is it Moses, or is it one of these youngsters? Is it the Tiger Blood guy that made the predictions?
You know, I don't know how many more chances David Hayes is going to get, honestly. I mean, he'll probably get better over the years. You know, is he ever going to develop into anything? I don't know if he has the makeup mentally to do that, but I don't know how much longer you can really rely on him. I mean, you know, you always have issues till he gets into shape, if he even gets into shape. And then even Red, I mean, as good as he is, he can only carry you so far. So a lot of decisions to be made. I mean, Mikey Shalom deserves a shot, you know, so maybe somebody will take a chance on him when they see Leo Casson and guys like that performing. The bottom line is you got to have a defense behind you no matter who you put out there. So, you know, that's another thing that...
Well, back to the World Series, the Dodgers don't really have a defense.
I know. It's amazing that...
Although Big Sawley at third makes every play.
Yeah.
He makes every play, but Carlos at shortstop is killing them right now. He's got to step up.
And then it also, just seems the ball's finding him now. It's just, you know, it's just like every ground. Yeah, but ironically, he made 6-7 errors last week in the 2 games. But he also made maybe the 2 hardest plays. He made unbelievable plays. He did double plays, and so.
Is he a true shortstop since a kid? Second base?
No, he's not really. He's a second baseman, and he's a great center fielder. So maybe that's something in the future. He really played in this league once shortstop. Maybe I don't think he was.
He was a shortstop on the Bachelor.
Yeah, but that doesn't really count. I mean,
you know, going back to the draft, when I was talking to David Franco, you know, before my picks, Carlos was actually, you know, up there as far as us picking him as a shortstop. And I believe he was available when I had my pick. I went with Cross. You know, didn't turn out the way I hoped. But you learn, you know. I went for a major athletic team this year. But we considered him highly.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know if... honestly, now after this, I don't know if he's going to get another chance as a shortstop.
You know what? If he wins the World Series, he'll get a chance because you'll forget about all the errors, and that's the end of the story.
Right,
so.
Especially if he has a strong game 4 and 5. Also, another issue with the Dodgers D is Cheesehead Sabon at first. Doesn't really seem comfortable there. Doesn't know your first baseman. Doesn't know when to get off the bag to field it. It doesn't block it really. If it's a bad throw in the dirt, it's always going in the street.
Well, like we said, I mean, you can't even compare them defenses. Stephen Matesh at first, you know, obviously one of the top first basemen in the league. Savi Goldberg, very solid at second base. Even Michael Richty is playing very good. You know, I mean, they have you know, Gabe is a great shortstop. You know, developed into one of the top players, and Jordy at third. So, really, there's nothing to compare to defensively. And with AB pitching, I don't see how they're going to lose. I really don't. I mean, they won now what? I think it's 15 out of 17.
Wow.
So those are, you know, crazy numbers. So
there's rumors flying around that this could possibly be Gabe's last year in the league. Is anyone?
No, actually, I know he's going to Boston next year for school, and he's you know, he might miss a couple of weeks, but I don't think he's gonna hang it up yet. He's like
not hang it up. Maybe he'll come back after
a couple
school.
of weeks.
But
He's like one of these Edmund Dweck's where they get, you know, they don't come out till May, you know, 3rd or 10th. You might have to miss a couple of weeks.
Which Edmund? The Bachelor?
The
what happened? Yeah, what happened to that guy?
Edmund is in Syracuse University, so
he wasn't in the league this year.
No, he
Wow,
can only.
Did you just say Edmund is the size of Syracuse University? I saw that guy somewhere, maybe in the night league. All of a sudden, he's 6'5", 350 pounds. He makes me look like Zolta. You're good. How did that happen? What is he eating over there?
Did you see the interview with Zolta where he was standing on the curb? I'm interviewing Zolta. The video guy pans down to the feed. Zolta's on a step for the interview.
He wasn't on the top step of the bleachers. But yeah, it would be a big loss for the league if that is the case. But because now he's developed.
Well, it seems Sammy Cross also abandoned his team in the middle of the year this year.
Nah, it wasn't an abandonment. He had a family function.
Mutual.
Yeah, I mean, we put him on waivers. We picked up Isaac Saka. We won a couple games, but you know what? We couldn't get past the Dodgers. And Saka won 3 that week, so it wasn't in the cards for us anyway.
Right.
Crossed, I don't know. He hasn't really shown anything to me in 2 years that he's, top. He's got incredible athletic ability, tremendous bat, but I don't. As far as fielding, I don't know if he has the. Maybe he's not a shortstop either, so I don't know if that's the case. But it remains to be seen going forward. So now we're gonna go to a break from our. Oh, we have the.
I seem to be calling in. I would love to talk
Let's
about
see who this is. Sabon, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Michael Sabon Salomon. I am absolutely outraged at the fact that first there was someone calling up with me on the show, and then you have an imposter coming in and being me on the show. I want to know who's in charge, and I want to, put him in a dark alley and get to know him a little.
Get to know him a little in a dark,
Are you Tommy Manzo? Are you challenging him now? What are you doing?
Sabon, do you have your shirt off?
This is identity theft. I have a problem. Next year he's going to be my captain. What's the story? We got a bad team. We're going to turn it around. This is not right, Bobby. Bobby, this is not right. You're going to charge me double for the league next year, Bobby.
I actually do have the identity of the Sabon character. I believe he also tried to become an imposter of David Asher.
The one and only,
Yeah.
or so we thought.
We do know who is behind this, and he will be dealt with accordingly. So Sabon, it's been very nice to hear from you.
Always a pleasure, Michael. Always a pleasure.
All right. Hopefully, maybe David Asher will call, and we haven't heard from him in a while.
And here he is, David Asher on the line. David, how are you?
I got to go.
All right.
Bobby, I'm a little confused. I'm questioning which Sabon is the real Sabon here.
Well, let me take my mask off.
Wow, was that the Sabon imposter? You tell me that's the last time.
I don't know what's going on here. I'm very
You know
confused.
what? My whole life there's been clones trying to become me, talking like me, acting like me, wanting to be me. Call back in or email us at the company email, and I'll send you an autographed softball and a Speedbag Scissorhands t-shirt.
Actually, Jimmy Malak actually tried to imitate you in Arabic one time. It was pretty interesting.
He called in.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a good guy. He supports the Scissorhands Foundation. He has a couple shirts, and I enjoy his friendship and company. We play together in the night league. We're on the Gesher Yehuda team together. But speaking about Gesher, there's been a couple of things going around this week.
Yeah.
That you're intentionally not moving the World Series to conflict with Ike Mavora's plans. Any truth to that?
What should we change it to?
Maybe the following week. Not, I don't care, but I'm just saying.
We don't change for no. We did it 3 weeks ago. We're not going to do it again.
So the scheduling.
Yeah, it's amazing. People make tournaments and they think the YMSL should just go away for the week. I find that very hard to believe. But the show must go on.
The show
the
must
World
go
Series comes once a year, and the tournaments come every other week. So, we're not going to change for anybody.
Ike Mavora, if you'd like to call in and speak to the commissioner, please do.
Anytime. But I would like to say that they did threaten Mr. Stephen Gindi from the Gesher Yehuda tournament, called me and told me that if anybody plays in the World Series, they will not be eligible to play in the tournament. So, he's using threats.
So nobody could go from the World Series and then play in the tournament.
As per Gesher Yehuda, yes. As per their request. Stephen Gindi, thank you. You're on the air.
Hey, the wingman, formerly known as Mike Suicide Wings, by popular demand.
Oh, already
All right.
formally known? We had a name change already?
Why don't you just
we
change
had a
it?
name change. We had a few complaints with the suicide nonsense, so we changed it up. So we're the wingman now.
Can we place an order? Can we place an order now?
Yeah, you have Sabon here. I'm a big supporter. I would love to get a trial of 20 wings right now. What's going on, Mike?
A trial.
I could be there in 15 minutes.
Okay, a free trial is what he's asking for right
You
now.
would like a rebate on your wings.
Well, then I think maybe that'll be like 90 minutes then. When's the show over?
Mr. Wingman, tell us, since you've been on the show with our viewership, and how's it been going?
It's been unbelievable. The reaction has been nothing but incredible. The phone doesn't stop ringing. I got third-degree burns on all my fingers from the barbecue, and it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for the exposure last week.
I understand you made a delivery tonight to the Night League. Anybody, what's the reaction been so far?
They thought it was a big goof until they tasted it, and they realized it was for real. So we got a lot of guys making errors in the field with their greasy, saucy fingers.
Is Labo in the league by any chance?
He is now.
Rumor has it he's using the wings as Tic Tacs. He thought they were a giant bucket of cinnamon Tic Tacs.
All right, Mr. Fowler. So, by the way, I would like to tell you, one of our loyal viewers, Red Nesser, says he has an item that could go very well with your wings that he specializes in. He makes imjedra, and he wants to come on the air and make it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so maybe we'll do a co-op.
Yeah, he says he eats it six nights a week because it's the cheapest thing to make, and he wants to do a little cook-off with you. Are you interested?
Of course. Anytime. My pleasure.
All right. So whenever you have leftovers, send them to the studio over here.
Okay. What time you guys there till?
Whenever you tell us you're coming.
Okay, man.
All right. Thanks.
You.
All right. Thanks. Oh boy, another free bucket of wings.
So no longer Mike's suicide wings, I guess.
The trial.
The trial. I saw Sabon at the Lighthouse asking for a free sample of every single flavor they had, and now he gets a trial.
Hey.
Oh, and then by the time you get all the flavors, you're done, right?
That's it. I put them in my own cup, and I give them to my kids and say I dropped it and get another one. Now we're going to bring the wings home to the kids.
So, Michael Fowles, obviously our viewership is really helping people's livelihood.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is amazing. We do sell advertising on the show. We're open for more sponsors. RBI was first on the list.
Beverage Inc. already a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
There's rumors they're going public soon, RBI. And now Mike, the artist formerly known as Mike Suicide Wings.
I have a suggestion. Since we're getting such great viewership, why don't we bring in some of the elderly single guys in the league and have girls call in and really maybe auction Asher off or Richie Braha? I'm serious. Maybe there's some lucky fan out there who likes, who wants a date, and we could expose them to the masses, and hopefully
that's a pretty good idea.
Why don't we do a special show?
And we could let the girls find out more about these eligible players by. We'll ask them all the hard questions that they want to know. We'll interview them.
Why don't we do a dating game with Asher, Richie Braha, and Moses? We'll bring it.
And the winner could be Sammy Sutton. You all could date Sutton. He knows all the hot spots that one across from Watermark that you only see 52 guys lining up to get in. I saw him there. Online, of course.
And then after the date, we could do like that old show Love Connection where they come in and they tell us about the date. Richie was funny, but he didn't pick up the tab at the end of the night and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that could be a good one. I think we have a new idea for the 2012 season. Michael, there's been a lot of talk that, a lot of viewers have been requesting you to be a permanent replacement for Douglas Dweck. What do you think of?
I had this conversation with your other co-host Norman the other day, and
still on the contract for 3 more years.
And to tell you the truth, I think that the overwhelming response would be that the fans out there would love to have me. I mean, I think I bring a lot of humor and insight to this show, but I think it's time maybe we start looking at another TV spot for either my own show or something co-hosted by my good friend Maurice Haber. What we proposed the other day was, and we would like to propose this on air right now, and you guys could call in and tell us what you think of this. We would like to do maybe a 20 to 30 minute segment that is totally non-censored. I mean, you guys introduce us, and you tell the folks out there that it's time to go to the non-censored show. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because Sabon and Maurice are coming out there, and the phone lines will be open, and there's all kinds of language allowed and everything. And if you don't want the kids to watch, we give you fair warning, and I assure you we got a ton of viewers, and I think it would be great. What do you guys think?
I like that reality TV. It'll actually have to be on satellite, obviously radio, so we can't really. So you can pretty much do your own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, cursing is not really appropriate in our production. So.
Well, that's why we're looking for
Right,
our
looking
own
for a
person,
sister. Yeah.
where we assist their affiliate, and we give them fair warning. Get the kids out of the room now. It's time for the new show, and I think we can make it great.
I think it's a great idea, but you and Maurice need to commit to every single week. You got to be here.
Let's do it.
Because in the beginning of the season, it's when Maurice is still in Brooklyn. He's got to get here on a Monday or Tuesday night and make it happen.
Well, I mean, if it doesn't start the first week of the season, or we could film that Sunday,
Right.
and you could broadcast it later,
Right.
whatever. But think about it. Let's do it. Why don't we do a test show after the World Series, like a year recap or something, and see how the fans like it.
Okay.
I mean,
I like it.
I like it. The only problem is we've tried to get on Maurice on the show 7 times, and he hasn't been available all 7. So we'll see how he does on a full.
Interesting that you did not select Dash to join your team.
well, he would. I was planning on having a couple of guests like you guys had. And Asher would probably be my first guest. It would be very hand-picked, select guys that I would want. I think we could bring all kinds of characters onto the show. I think we would have tremendous ratings, and it's another good opportunity for us to plug some of these products out there and get a little more exposure to guys like Phallus and his wings, and Red and his driving skills, and so on and so forth.
Now I would pay to see you and bring in Sammy Sutton as a special guest and talk about your days in South Beach.
Oh, that would be definitely a great show. I think I could get Sammy over here, and we'll have a great show.
All right, so that's something to look forward to. Have your agent contact our people and
Our programming director.
program, and we'll try to make something happen for 2012.
If anybody out there likes this idea, when the phone line's open, call up. If you don't like it, let us know. We can nix the whole idea right now, but if you do like it, we're open to suggestions. I think it could be very funny.
All right. Right now, we're going to go to a break from our sponsors, RBI Beverage Inc. and we have another phone call coming in. One of our.
Just go straight to it. We'll see who it is.
It's like our regular. Solly from Oakhurst, you're on the air.
Hey, Bobby, what's going on, man?
How are you? We have your special guest over here, Michael Sabon Salomon.
I know. What a treat, I'll tell you. What a difference the show is.
What's up, Saul?
I'm in a bad mood from losing to him on Sunday, and I can't stop laughing. The guy's just pure entertainment. Belongs on the show. Turn the whole thing around.
All right, Saulie, now tell us, what's the mindset of your team now, down 2-1? Do you think you have it, what it takes to come back and sweep this week?
Well, of course I'm going to think that. I mean, we came out, everybody was a little high on themselves. It seemed like we jumped out to a 4-1 lead in the first game. We should have put them away, but everybody got lackadaisical. Top of the order, we really didn't hit a ball out. Bottom of the order did our legwork. We didn't come through. We let them come back in the game. They crept back in the game, and we didn't put it away. The second game was just, all-out brawl, and mindset was a little shaken from these calls, and I don't know if it affected his pitching, but it was hit a little hard.
Saul.
Yeah, Bob.
Looking at the box scores this week, it seemed like you were one of the few guys on your team to hit last week when the big games were happening. What are you, as a veteran, a long-time veteran of the league, what are you going to tell your team before this week to get them motivated? I mean, your deed can't do all the talking.
I already spoke to a bunch of guys. We were really talking about things on Monday. Talked about a lot with the guys about in the top of the order. They really got to step it up if they want to win the championship. Bottom order seems like they're doing their job. I mean, whatever you could expect from them, they're doing. It's just our top 6 guys got to put up the runs. We got to get on base. You know, every time I got up, it was either to lead off an inning or man on first, 2 outs, or man on first, 1 out. Just didn't have the runners to score position that I had all year. And this is the biggest time to do it. You got to do it.
Do you have anything to say right now live to your captain Jackie Towell and his horrific hitting performance throughout the World Series?
You know, he's not hitting good at all, and he notices it. He knows, what's going on. He knows what he has to do. It's on his back. I mean, it's not really on his back. It's really not only him. Listen, it's our leadoff hitter's not getting on base. Richie isn't really good either on Sunday, and he knows it. You know, he's killing himself for it. But JT does have to get on base. He knows his hitting is a little atrocious right now, and he's got to get it back on track if wants to win the game.
What about in the field? You see, your team seems to be an absolute wreck in the field. You're actually one of the few that actually fielded well on Sunday, but it seemed like any ground ball would end up in a base hit, even some fly balls, people diving for catches that can't be made. What's going on in your field?
Listen, Herb's been strong. He didn't make any errors. I don't even think he got a ball the whole day. David Richie had shortstop didn't get a ball the whole day either. First base was a little shaky, and first game calls had I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna shit you. He had a bad game, and he knows it. He's bad, and it's also not easy when people are getting down on him. You know, he's got to keep his head up after every error. You know, he doesn't. He lets it take it. He takes it and takes it hard. He's got to get his head in the game after 1 error, get away with 1 error. But can't let it down for him. And the second game, he played well. He made a few stops. He made a key error, but he saved a lot of shots. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the ball was hit hard. Second game, the ball was hit very hard.
Do you think
He's in the game. We need him. You know, we need him. That's our spot. Shortstop. That's our. Listen, I make errors sometimes too, but he's just got to get his head in the game.
Do you think your deed lost his focus from all the nonsense with Manzo?
If I know your deed, no, but I don't know. I would think not, and I just think they're hitting him. That's all. I think he was tired, maybe. Do I think he let Cole get the better of him? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would say no, because you know where he's busy for.
So, one question. We heard some rumblings. Wait 1 second. We heard some rumblings afterwards in the locker room. There could be some changes in the field. Is there any truth you might conceivably play shortstop on Sunday?
Wait, can you hold that thought? I have Mike Suicide Wings here asking for your address. He wants to come and deliver your free chicken wings. By the way, they're unbelievable. I'm at the game with him, watching the game. All my hands are wet. His phone's fucked up from my hands. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. But,
keep that language for the Mike and Maurice show.
What's the address before I...
Well, I have to give it to you off the air. We don't divulge our information for obvious reasons.
Alright, so I'll let him call you when he's on his way there. You're going to have to wait a little bit till I finish this phone call.
Yeah, so is there any truth regarding that you might conceivably play shortstop?
No, don't go anywhere. We had a little conversation, but between me, Richie, Yadid, JT,
and the rest of your team.
I kind of don't agree with it. Not because I can't play. I just think I don't really have the range at shortstop. I'm not used to playing shortstop. And to take Carlos out now, that's against the wall. It's almost an error. And we're not putting anybody better at that position if we put me and Richie there.
Right.
So we're going to discuss it more and see how it pans out. I mean, my choice would be to keep Carlos there and hope he plays for the games that he has played this year well.
So you clearly want to keep him there.
We need him.
You want to keep him there. Who is the biggest person voicing the opinion that things should be shaken up?
What are you trying to do to me? We're up here
rumor has it that it was
Trying to-
Saul. Rumor has it was Ike Adid said that if you don't get Carlos at a shortstop, he's not even showing up, and he's going to play in the Gesher tournament. Is that true?
I'll just give you a little bit of a hint, and I think you can kind of know who I'm talking about. But we're talking about four guys, me, Risky, and JT, and right now I believe we're split 2-2 on the vote. So from there you can kind of.
I know who the 2 and 2 is. Yeah. All right.
You know.
Okay.
You know, whatever. It is what it is, and you know, we have to step up. It's do or die now, back against the wall, and these young guys got to know when they got to feel the fire to win. You know, so that's what it is.
All right, so thanks for calling in, and good luck Sunday. Hopefully you can walk away with the championship.
You got it, but you might not get your wings now because Fowler's just left the field without his cell phone. I don't know if you know the address. So, you know, Sabon, if it's up to, you can blame somebody for not giving that address out.
It's right next to my mother's
And
house.
it's good to hear you on the show, Sabon. It's really entertaining, I gotta tell you.
Thanks, man.
All right, so
How's he watching the show?
are you voting for Douglas to come back next year?
Absolutely not.
Would you like to see...
He got 2 thumbs down on that note.
Saul,
That guy's really dry. He's as dry as ice. What can I tell you?
last question. Would you like to see an uncensored 30-minute show starring me and Haber?
I'd put you there. I don't know if I want to hear Haber. His voice annoys me.
Interesting.
I like Bobby. I like Norman doing the analytical part of the week. He's very good. He's very knowledgeable about the situation. And Bobby also brings his role as the main guy on the panel.
No, this would be in addition to this show, like a new show.
Oh, you mean added a fourth guy there?
No, I said...
Like a reality show, you know.
A separate show. His voice, as long as you can put duct tape on his mouth. It's always
What he said? Put duct tape on his mouth.
Salomon and Maurice the whole time. So, you know, it'd be good. It'd be fun.
And we're going to have an international channel, too, with Jimmy Malak on his own show.
Broadcasting live from Saudi Arabia.
Al Jazeera.
Any other questions? Any other trouble you want to get me into?
No, I think we're okay now.
For the game?
I think we got enough scoop, and I think you guys are obviously, Norman and Sabon are picking you guys to win. I'm still sticking with Grip It, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Norman's prediction might come true after I shared with him last week.
Yeah.
Sweeping back, so he's been right before, and hopefully...
Yeah, he's been right. He's been, Norman, I'll tell you.
He's been right on. I told you, you need him. You need him there. You need him on that panel.
Well, we have for 3 more years, right? Or is it with an option?
2 more years after this
option.
one, I think.
Hey, my request is to have that PA system for every game.
Oh, yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Really something. The music, everybody was hyped at the field. It was a great atmosphere, even though we were losing, kind of getting a little angry.
But maybe it caused tempers to flare also. Maybe it wasn't such a good thing.
Well, Manzo was lucky it wasn't because I would have knocked his head off the building. Because, regardless of your prep, you got to know you can't call somebody an idiot while they're walking away.
Right, and the funny thing, Saul...
I said before, I don't know what he said before, but you're a ref. You're supposed to maintain it. And he let the guy get real fast.
Baseball guys are called umpires.
The referees in baseball are called umpires, but the funny thing is that the call that got you guys the most mad was the one that Manzo ended up reversing. It was the call at third base.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give you a scoop on that. He wasn't reversing anything till I screamed. And I actually asked Jason to make the call. And he looked at Jason after I screamed at him, and he pointed to Jason, and Jason went, ow. He would never have reversed it if nobody said to ask Jason.
Well, here's the point. Would he have... If there was not a situation earlier in the game, I don't think Manzo ever would have asked for in that situation. He did it more to calm down the whole... it could have been a riot at that.
But that call...
I'm not... Listen, I like Tom.
Never
I don't
saw
get
such a
to
bad
fight
thing.
with him or anything, but I think this year he showed that his temper is very short.
And you know what, Sully? That call wasn't even close. I don't know how he missed that call from any angle. I don't care where he was standing.
Norman, he missed that call at second base, and that wasn't even close. So,
But that was closer than the other. The one at third was ridiculous. He slid right into the glove. I mean, that was a joke. Yeah, I mean, Then he blames it on where he was standing. Well, whose fault is that? I mean, it's not.
Are you talking about the play at second base or the play that?
No, the play at third was just obviously out. I mean, the throw came right into your glove, and your glove was in front of the base. So how could he possibly, go underneath that? I mean,
it's not the first time he did those calls. But listen, it's tough. I don't know. Maybe it's tough to. I don't know. I don't know where he was placed the whole time, but it was an obvious goal. So that's all I can say. I don't want to really shamble the guy anymore.
All right.
I'm at home now thinking about you, Diesel, since you want to take his shirt off in the parking lot. So, I don't know. But Tommy looks like a tough guy. I don't know who would take that.
that would be a good fight. That would be a very good fight. He's got his tattoos. I think.
I forget about the tattoos. His veins were popping out of his neck on the field. Looks like Frankenstein.
Interesting because the votes for Umpire of the Year are already in, so nothing that happens in the playoffs could affect the results there.
From what I heard, he loses Bobby on the table every year for that umpire vote because I don't know anybody in the league that actually votes for him. So, and he happens to win every year. So
Well, actually, if you notice this year he wasn't even nominated. So I think people are finally realizing that he's not cut out. So
yeah, listen, I don't know. Good guy, whatever it is. Maybe he just doesn't belong roughing the game.
Well,
he could always change his name to Tommy Manzo-Shevitz and go to the Rabbi League.
This is what I mean. Dougie wouldn't have even an answer or comment.
I'm thinking he may show up with his tattoos and fake beard as Tommy Manzo-Shevitz.
Well, he was actually banned from Max's Night League also, so he's really, he's
Sooner or later, he's going to be banned from every local league around. He might revoke his ASA license or whatever it is.
I think the girls' league has an exclusive contract with him, though. I think he refs. Now I'm saying refs like you. I think he umps all their games.
But even though they've had some issues.
I think in his contract he has a right to refuse or terminate his contract.
Oh, it could be, so we'll see. We don't want to make this the pick on Tommy hour, but so all right, Sully, thanks for waiting for the wings right now. So we'll talk to you soon. See you on the field on Sunday.
You got it.
All right.
Good.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Good call. I got to ask Sabon as a captain. They were saying they were split over Carlos at shortstop. What would you do if you were the captain of that team?
You know what? You got to this point with Carlos there. Sully is absolutely not a shortstop, although a great all-around player. But if you take away all this guy's confidence, you're guaranteed to lose. I'm telling you.
I agree.
You got to keep him.
You can't all of a sudden.
This is
last
the world.
week of the season,
You know
switch
what?
everything around.
I moved a couple guys this year, but we were never in it.
Yeah.
So that's meaningless. At this point of the season, you live and die with this guy there. He got you there, and that's the end of the story.
That reminds me of 4 years ago with Smack Back in the World Series, where they took Red out in Game 5, and Eli Braha pitched because he got lit up in Game 4.
Right.
And he got bombed.
It's a sign of panic.
Yeah.
And my prediction before you got here, when we opened up, we said Carlos had a rough week. I predict he's going to have a very strong week at shortstop this week. I think he's going to make close to every play, and I think he's going to be a star and the reason why Dodgers win the World Series.
Well, yeah, he's definitely going to have to step up. But, again, I guess if he makes the first few plays, he'll get his confidence and get Yedidov's back, and it could be the icing on the cake to change the series around, momentum breaker. So.
All right, what time, what field, what are we doing?
We're still finalizing that with the maintenance crew to see what time the field's available, and the Ocean Township Police Department for traffic purposes. We're expecting a huge crowd. So
Is
it's
going
going
to
to be a
have
fireman's
any
field.
security to protect either Manzo or Yedid from each other?
Well, we mentioned earlier, I don't know if you know, that he resigned from the
He's
line,
officially
so, yeah.
out? I thought you were saying after the season he's done.
No, we can't wait. Effective immediately.
We can't wait.
As Norman would say, and Sully, which ref is coming out?
Right, which ref?
Well, we're still working on that. Hopefully it's
I
Terry.
vote for Terry. Terry's the best umpire in the league.
I know. Terry, we got to see. what's available. So
There will be music at the game. There will be national anthem at the
Yes.
game. Again, we had.
oh, by the way, we should mention A.B. Salem did an unbelievable rendition of the national anthem.
Mike Suicide, the artist formerly known as Mike Suicide.
We hate to cut the show very short, but our dinner has just arrived, and you know, when it comes to food, we terminate our show right away. Michael, bring it on.
We could broadcast as we eat.
Yeah, that's true. How are you?
Hello, all.
Look at that. 10 minutes since
The
he said he's
wingman.
coming.
The wingman.
That's something you got.
How are you?
Enjoy.
We just ate him jet today. It was delicious.
Red's all
We got
famous.
freebies coming in all night.
Yeah, we got. All right, so that's it for this week. I guess it's our final week before the end of the season, and hopefully
We'll have a final wrap-up show,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we're not going to have any more previews after this, so we'll know the winner next time we meet.
Beautiful.
And whatever it is, whoever it is, it's two great teams. So I think the final Sunday should be a great series.
Games
And,
1, 2, and 3 were all very tight, close games. I'm expecting the same.
and ironically, the Dodgers had a 4-2 lead in each one of those games. So
Oh, yeah?
yeah. So
4-1 in game 2, by the way. Oh, 4-1.
4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, that's it for tonight, and I want to thank everybody for watching. All our many viewers
Thank you,
out there.
Sabon, our guest.
Michael Sabon Salomon for coming in and you know, maybe permanently taking Douglas' spot.
You want the ratings up? You open a time slot for me.
And that's it. So good luck, and we'll see you next week.